Hickey on a screen. He sprinted away from Hickey, then hit him on a screen back to this side. He raced this football all the way to our territory, down to the 46, Terry Stafford.
28 yards on the catch and run by Hickey. Their biggest play of the night is they get a first down. They're in Lebanon territory at Lebanon's 46.
37-6, 10:20 to play in the fourth quarter. Lebanon leading 31 points. Ray County up to the line. They're on our 46, and they got a double wide out to the left. Take the ball. Ricky back looking for a pass. Here comes Skullroot again. He missed him. He throws it out in the flat. It's tipped up in the air, incomplete. Alex Skullroot really rushing the quarterback again. Made him throw high, incomplete, second down and 10. Skullroot was chasing Ricky back on about our 45. And then one of our men, Drake, came up and knocked it down, incomplete. Now the rain has slacked off a little. The wind hasn't. Ball still on the 46, second down and 10. Tommy, got a score?
Bruce, the Knoxville newspapers and radio stations calling and to get our score. They're very much interested in this game. So the radio stations and TV and newspapers somehow have gotten hold of this telephone number, and now those calls have started. They're wanting to know how this East Tennessee football team is faring tonight. And, folks, they're not faring very well.
That last pass, Tommy, incomplete. There's a pass out in the flat. It's 3rd and 10. The last pass was out in the flat, intended for their split end. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10. The rain now begins to pick up again.
To all our friends out in the parking lot headed home, stay tuned with us for our post-game stat show and for our post-game Mark Medley show after the conclusion of this game.
Option play. They pitch it back to Hickey. Hickey's on the 45. Willie Rose hit him first. He gets to the 40. Got 6 yards on an option. They pitched it back, and Hickey, their running back, got down to the 40. It's going to be 4th and 4 on our 40. Clock says 9:37, and it's moving. 9:34 now. We're leading 37-6. And if we can win this thing, Knoxville Halls will have to travel down here next week on this field. That will be the 3rd round. We understand Riverdale is leading Cleveland down in Cleveland. They send a wide out to the right. 4th and 4, and they run an option, and they pitch it back, and we hit him, and we knock him down way back on the 45, and we'll take over. They tried to run Hickey on an option, and he lose about 6, maybe 5. We'll take it on the 45. Lebanon's got good field position. They're leading by 31.
And Bruce, Medley has cleared the bench. He's going to the second unit offense. And Coach Mark Medley with a lot of compassion on this Ray County football team as he's got our second unit in the game with 8:50 to go in the game. Jason Reeder is the quarterback. Bill Garrett, the split receiver. Bo Grissom lines up in the slot for Lebanon.
And also in a situation like this, you don't want to get anybody hurt. We moved our lineman. One of our linemen moved too soon. I think it might have been our tackle. We're on the 46, and it'll be 1st down and 15 now. And we'll have to say for Ray County, they are playing under great emotional stress. Their head coach, I believe his first name Bill Horton. Bill Horton is taking cancer chemotherapy treatment in Houston. He has not been with this football team in the last 7 ball games, and they played their heart out for him. And also their quarterback was in a car wreck back in July, and he's not played at all this year. Sweep Moss. Moss will lose back to the 38 as they tried to sweep Charles Moss. So a lot of emotion on that Ray County team, Tommy.
Bruce, here's that offensive front for Lebanon. We've got Barry Loftus at a tackle. We've got at a guard Rob Pack. We've got in at the center position Jody Atwood. David Humes is at a guard. Scott Kaiser at a tackle. And Troy Adams is the tight end for the Blue Devils. Lining up at fullback, it looks like Luke Shepard. Charles Moss is the tailback behind Reeder.
Ball on the 38. We run a sweep to Moss. Moss cuts it in on the 40 and got to the 41 and got knocked down and got 3 yards. And there's less than 8 minutes to play in this football game. And the wind and the rain is just keep blowing through. The rain did not start till late in the second quarter. The second half, it stopped at the half, and then it really picked up in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. Third down and about 16, the ball on the 41. Lebanon going into that win at the moment. Reeder's the quarterback, Shepard and Moss are the running backs. I set Garrett split out here. We run that reverse to Garrett, and Garrett will lose yardage all the way back to the 28 or 29. We were trying to run that reverse that we ran last week, and they handed it to Garrett, and he got knocked down back on the 28 or 29. And we'll have to punt into a driving wind and rainstorm.
Skullroot back to kick for the Blue Devils. Deep to return for Ray County. Clay Carroll has the standing over to snap it is Jody Atwood.
37-6 Lebanon on Ray County. Snap is a good one. The punt almost blocked. Punt is away, but it won't go hardly anywhere. It hits on the 40, rolls back to the 38 or 37. Bill Garrett stopped it there. It didn't roll back farther. Terry, that's another one of them single-digit punts, I think.
You're right, Bruce. From the 29, it looks like they're going to down it at the 37. 8 yards on the punt. It is very difficult to punt against that wind.
The wind, I guess, probably blowing 25, 30 mile an hour, and it's been that way since the opening kickoff. The only thing that's changed it is rain is with it now. 37-6. Cunningham is a corner out here. They run a halfback pass. They're looking deep, and they're throwing deep. DeMont Stone will intercept that football. The All-Stater is back there again. Intercepted it on the 7-yard line. He was just waiting on that thing. They'll put it on the 8. Intercept Stone. He's had another heck of a game tonight.
And
ball on the 8, Tommy.
Padding those all-state numbers, DeMond Stone, and we've been advised from the sideline to keep an eye on that Gatorade jug as they're going to go after Mark Medley. So downstairs,
that ought to cool him off.
Jonathan, you guys keep an eye on that Gatorade cooler. They're going to go for Medley tonight and try to douse him as if he's not wet enough.
Reeder takes it, runs a sweep to Moss. Moss cuts it in and got to the 10-yard line and got 2. Looked like he had some running room, and then he got knocked down on the 10 and got 2. And it's going to be 2nd down and 8 yards to go. 2nd and 8, 5:37. Lebanon 37-6. It was not expected to be this big a margin victory for Lebanon, but the win, we got 17 points with a win in the first quarter, and Terry, I think we got 14 or 13 in the second quarter, didn't we?
Bruce, we got
our third quarter.
In the third quarter, we got 14, and we actually set up another touchdown, which we got early in the fourth quarter because of the wind.
They run an inside trap to our wing back, and they knock us down on about the 8, and we lost 2 as we was trying to hit Bo Grissom on an inside trap, and no blocking there, or they shot a linebacker or somebody, lost back to the 8 where it's going to be 30, might have lost 3. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
We want to remind, or at least invite, all former Blue Devil football players to attend Thursday morning's practice. Coach Medley wants to invite all former players to the 9 o'clock practice on Thanksgiving Day.
Hand off to our fullback. That's Luke Shepard. He gets to about a yard out of that, up maybe to the 8. And it's 4th down and 10. 4th and 10. Yes, they're all the Blue Devils. They'll be practicing, Lebanon will be, on Thanksgiving morning at 9 o'clock. About an hour and a half workout. And anybody that's played for Lebanon High School down through the years is welcome to come to that practice. And then on Friday, it'll be Lebanon and Knox Halls right here from this Noakes Lassiter Field. Snap to Skullroot, the punt away. That thing is straight up. Somebody catch it for Lebanon. And we down it on the 9. That might be a 1-yard punt. The ball went straight up in the air, and you cannot believe how the wind is affecting this thing. They'll actually put it on the 10, I think. Terry, 2-yard punt.
2 yards, Bruce. We've had 2-yard, 8-yard, 3-yard, and 8-yard punts tonight into the wind. With the wind, we've seen 61 and 47, so it makes a big difference tonight.
So with the ball on the 10 and the clock, big factor here, 37-6. They take it, run an inside trap, and they run it to Nelson, and he got down to the 6 and got 4. There's 3:38 and the clock is moving and the rain is coming down steadily now. Not blowing quite as hard. It's coming a little bit straighter down.
This has got to be a punter's nightmare tonight as Alex Skullroot sees his average just go crazy tonight with all these short kicks because of this intense wind blowing out of the south.
Ball is spotted somewhere around the 6 or 7. Ray County's on our 6 or 7. They take the ball and sprint out to the left, and they look, and they look, and they have a man, and he dropped it on about the 5-yard line. Cunningham came up and hit him after he dropped it. It's 3rd down and 5 yards or 6 yards. 3rd down and 6 yards. Almost, Tommy, they'd be ready, better, I guess, to run it into this rain instead of throw it.
Want to welcome all our listeners who are in the automobiles tonight out in the parking lot. Stay tuned for the Aflac post-game show, the stats with Terry Stafford, and then Greg Brothers Car Wash brings you the Mark Medley show at the end of our broadcast.
Ray County sprints to the right. Here comes a rush. Pass, touchdown. Ray County passed into the end zone to their tight end. Touchdown, and then a late flag goes up in the air. We may have a late hit here, but Ray County, the touchdown will count. That will make it 37-12, and there's a flag. I think we might have roughed the quarterback after the play was over. Let's check the flag.
The play is going to be marked off against Ray County, Bruce. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Ray County. 15 yards is the mark off. After the play, dead ball foul. The touchdown will stand as Lancaster, the tight end, makes the reception in the end zone for the touchdown. And this extra point try is going to come from the 18-yard line. And they're going to go for 2.
37-12. Lebanon leading by 25. And now, man, there's the rain really coming through now. It's really blowing, and maybe I've seen some lightning in. Maybe I'm just gun shy from last week. Slot left, sprint left. Looking, here comes a rush. Skullroot missed him. Pass down, incomplete, broken up to Mont Stone. Incomplete. It stays 37-12. Let's take a 30-second break. We'll be back for the kickoff. So we'll get that drive in just a minute. Kickoff is an onside kick, and we fell on it on the 48. It's our football on the 48. Terry, what about the last drive?
Bruce, Ray County goes 10 yards, takes them 4 plays. Anthony Lancaster from Adrian Binkley with a 6-yard touchdown pass through two-point conversion pass failed with 2:59 left in the game. It's 37-12 Lebanon.
The onside kick went 12 yards to the 48, and we fell on it on the 48, and it'll be 1st and 10 Blue Devils.
Jeff Clemens checks in with the play for Jason Reeder at quarterback as that second unit has played a good part of this 4th quarter.
So the rain held off long enough to get a crowd in here tonight. If this thing would have come in here about 6, the crowd would have been slim. We run a whip to Moss. Moss breaks across the 50 to the 47 and got 5 yards. Charles Moss running and a man down for Lincoln County. Or check it, not Lincoln County. We call them like that tonight, but it's Ray County.
Here comes that Gatorade, and they're either going to go for Marshall or Medley. And Chavez Job and Ashley, they've
They're
got
going
that.
for Marshall. They'll have to get a bigger.
Better get a bigger bucket.
Right.
Here we go. They're clearing everybody. I think they're going after Marshall. And we do have an injured player on the field for Ray County.
Marshall, I hope, is not wired up. Man, for Ray County, we cannot pick his number up. There's 2:20 to play in this football game. And if you've gotten out of here, you're lucky because the rain is really peppering down on these people that's still here. But when it's raining on you and you're winning, it's not quite as wet.
At least it doesn't feel as bad.
Lebanon leads 37-12. The Ray County player, Tommy, number 14.
That's their defensive end, Jeremy Fitzgerald. He's their leading tackler on the season. And here goes the Jew.